So, first question, name, group you're working in, what's the title of your film, and explain your idea in a bit more detail, okay? And give as much detail as you can. Okay.
Will you ask me that, or do I have to just answer all that
in one? Yeah, just answer those in one.
Name, group.
Name, group, title, and summary of all your ideas.
Okay. So, my name's May Ann Blanche, and I'm working with Michelle. It's just a two-man group. The title of our project is Fate Brought Us Together, but we were thinking about Stockholm Syndrome, but it's not very relating to it, so we're gonna just stick to Fate Brought Us Together until post-production. And our film, in short, is basically where there's this stalker who's getting obsessed with this character, and he starts creating a montage of his love for her, and then it ends in her getting a very valuable gift from her mother, and then this stalker ends up stealing it, and she doesn't know it's him, and then he gives it back, and she becomes in love with him because he was her hero, and he has this significant scar on him, and she notices it on the robber, but she doesn't notice it on him. And then later they go out for a date, and she notices the scar.
Sounds interesting. Sounds very good. Sorry, that was good. Stay up. Right, we're trying to go finish up. Right, so tell me about the dominant ideology. What is the dominant ideology of your film?
We wanted to create this preferred...
And remember, when I asked the question, sorry, I forgot to tell you. So when I asked you the question, answer with the question.
Okay.
So what is the dominant ideology?
The dominant ideology we want to create is that you shouldn't trust everyone, and that what you see seeing is believing, but at the same time it's just everything in general. Always trust your senses and don't go straight into everything.
Fantastic. So tell me about your role. What is your role in your group, and do you think that according to your expectations, are you fulfilling your expectations in your role, and is the other person in your group, would they say you are fulfilling the expectations?
My role in the group is a director, actor, idea creator, and I think I'm fulfilling those roles, as in I was able to come up with a quick idea and figure out, and whenever there's an issue on set, I'm able to direct what to do and tell them what's wrong, what happened, and what we can do to fix it. So an example of that is when we went to film on location, it was closed, so we had to rearrange it and all that, and then we did end up filming more stuff, so it did help. And acting is not my strong point, but I still did my best. I gave it my all. And I think my friend is happy with what I've done.
Fantastic, very good. So now we've kind of talked about your idea, we talked about your role, now I'm going to talk about the production process. So, are you happy with the progress you have made as a team? If so, why? If not, why not?
Wait, he said again.
So, the production process. Are you happy with the progress that you've made as a team?
Okay, so during production, so far so good basically. My partner and I are vinegar and oil, we just mix well. And it's going well so far, and whenever there's an issue, we're able to work around it, and we think very alike, and we compromise with each other, because I'm not great with writing, so she helps me with the writing, and I help her with the editing and filming. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with what's happening so far.
Fantastic. So tell me, what has been the biggest challenge that you guys have had?
The biggest challenge was actors, because we didn't want to use people from school, because it's when you use someone you're really close to, then they won't be as serious, and because I didn't want to star in the film, so I wanted to use other people. But the problem was their commitment, because if you want someone to act for you, they will either have to be really close, which will affect them being serious, but then they just won't be as committed. They'll just be like, can't be bothered and stuff. So we ended up having to we set back filming by a month because we kept trying to find actors. So we ended up just using close friends, and we had to be very stern.
Very good. And in future, how could you overcome this problem, do you think?
In the future, we'll overcome this problem probably by we could use people from the drama department, so we can use school students instead. So it would be someone who is committed to it, and if it's something that will personally benefit them. So if they want to become an actor, they can act in our film, and so then they've got something for their portfolio, and so do we.
Yeah, sounds like a good solution. Tell me, what do you think your biggest strength is in this production process?
My biggest strength, I'm not sure. I think my biggest strength is compromising. Whenever there's an issue, I'm able to just quickly think and fix it immediately and find another way to, or any way. And if there's an issue with flowers, and we said, oh, we can use something else because it will help signify another meaning if we write about it, I think.
And what has been your biggest weakness?
My biggest weakness is timeliness. It's just, we would say we're gonna do something, but we ended up setting it back by ages because we still have things we want to do and we still haven't done it, and we're just not good with our schedules, basically.
Okay, well that moves me on to the next question, which is, you've got a deadline tomorrow, which is your pre-production. All the pre-production stuff needs to be done by tomorrow. Are you going to meet that deadline? If you are going to meet that deadline, how have you got yourself into a stage where you are able to meet that deadline? If you're not, why not?
I'm definitely not going to meet that deadline. I'm not going to meet that deadline for my pre-production work because I've had other issues around school that I had to solve. So how I'm going to solve it is I'm probably going to not get any sleep tonight and do all my work tonight.
But is there anything else you can do in order to get that? I don't know. Is there any other solution that you can think of?
I can probably sit down with my partner Michelle and ask her what can we write, what can we do, and ask her what she wrote, and then I won't copy it, but I'll probably just edit it up and put in my words. And
so how far behind are you in terms of not meeting that deadline?
It's basically, I've got all my work done, I just haven't uploaded it on my blog.
So it's quite straightforward. Is it quite straightforward in terms of uploading it to your blog?
Yeah, I need to upload it, but also it's kind of, because it's a shared document we have, and I don't want to have two people who have the exact same work in case of making it look like plagiarism. So I want to just basically use it in my own words. What
documents are you talking about?
Google Drive.
No, but what documents are the same? Because you know that some of them are allowed to be the same.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you need to look through the list and work out the storyboard.
It's just some. I didn't know that.
So have a look, because obviously there's some which you'd expect them to be the same. So scripts should be the same. So that's what you need to have a look at. What can be the same?
Yeah.
What can't be the same?
Yeah, right? Scripts, I haven't uploaded that. It's just basically a matter of bringing what I've got, all the work we have together, and just uploading it onto the blog.
Because you want to try to get it all done either by the deadline, or if there's a little bit more you need to do, then we can, if it's the next day, if you need one extra day, we might be able to allow that. If it's one extra day, because I can always mark yours right at the end, but you need to communicate. Yeah, so it's communication. Right, okay. So, if you were to do it all again, if you were to do all of this again, what would you do differently?
I would just do everything on time. So if I could do this all again, I would, as soon as I'm told to do something, I will do it. I will write down everything and upload it. Because the problem was just my lack of time management and just management in general. I'm very lazy and I procrastinate a lot, so I end up leaving it, and I don't want to like leave it to the last minute because it really affects my work. And also I'd probably do pre-production before I end up doing production.
Okay, you might need to cut that bit. Right, okay, and we'll end there. Right,
So I'm going to end up forgetting.
you started the course August, the second section of your course, A2. What have you learned both in the class and outside of the class in that time, in terms of skills development?
Can you name a skill first? Like,
Well, so you got technical skills, which is like camera work, sound recording, editing, Wix, web design, all that stuff, Photoshop if you've done photography. But then you've also got the other side, which is the soft skills,
Yeah.
which is communication, teamwork, deadlines, time management, all that stuff. Go.
Okay, so the skills I learnt in school would be how to focus a camera, because I my focus was always out, but also it was finding out like how to give like an interpretation within film, and the creating dominant ideologies and having a better. This all helped in plot making, and yeah, and then I also learnt other ways to edit, and because when we were making blogs, which I also learned how to make like a nice blog, I learnt how to create more clips in terms of like vlogging and all that, which also benefited my editing skills, like for production, or was it post-production, creating a film. And my time management didn't really help, but it enhanced my skill of it enhanced my compromising skill. I don't know, just making up for things whenever there's an issue, and I'm a lot faster on my feet when there's an issue.
So it sounds like you're talking about problem solving.
Yeah.
Your problem solving skills. So that the next question that might be linked to this next question, which is, what do you think in terms of skills are skills that you have started to really develop into a strength of yours?
Wait, say that again.
So what skills have you developed and they've actually started to become a strength of yours?
Yeah, I was usually, whenever there's an issue, I'd run away. So the skills I've developed from it was definitely my problem solving skills, because when there's an issue I kind of just leave it and ask someone else to solve it. But because I wanted to do directing, so I ended up learning how to make up for any problem there is and fix it, and just quickly. I'm a lot faster, I'm becoming faster at thinking, so yeah.
Fantastic.
What's Kelly doing?
No. Right, and in terms of weaknesses, what areas of weaknesses do you think you have in terms of skills?
My biggest weakness would definitely be time management and just organisation in general, because I should have done a lot more about casting, because I didn't spend enough time in pre-production getting everything organised, and that also affected my blog work. And just time management was really bad. Just whenever there was an issue, I'd be like, oh, okay, we can do that like next week instead, or whenever next week became another week and then became a month, and like, yeah.
And in terms of technical skills, because you've got skills in terms of technical skills, tell me about some of your strengths with your technical abilities.
My technical ability, my strength would be editing, I think. But I learnt different ways of editing through. Editing is just putting films together, but it's more like, I'm not sure. I don't know what. I don't know.
Why is it a strength of yours, editing?
Because I've been creating like short films since I was young, like when I was 10, 11. So I always learnt along the way, but then now doing media studies as a subject, it has strengthened it like a lot more.
And in terms of areas of development, are there any specific areas that you want to develop even further?
Areas of development.
And I'm talking more technical rather than soft skills for now?
Oh, my area of development that I want to develop would definitely be sound, because narration, that's kind of, is it? It's kind of technical.
Sound would be, yes.
Yeah, sound would be a thing, because I always do I'm more of a visual person rather than like hearing, because I'm deaf in my ear, right ear. So I never really cared much about sound, and I like visually interpreting stuff because I do art. And so I usually just add like music and I'm just like, it's done. I never learn how to like sound mix or any of that. So I'm stronger with visual rather than like audio.
Very good. And in terms of you're going to finish the year finish your course in about May, June, or whenever it is. Yeah. So by the end of your course, what do you want to have achieved? And what skills do you want to be kind of... Oh, sorry. Oh, they're in there. Oh, gosh. Are you in here? That's right. It was the last question.
Probably like a minute.
Is that 1 minute? Sorry. Yeah, just in terms of your what was it? By the time you leave, what skills do you want to have developed?
I definitely wanted... The skills I want to develop by the end of this year, before I leave, is definitely sound. Learning how sound can also help bring up a visual piece, and probably more time management, organization, and in general directing. Because I do kind of let other people help out, and I think I should take the lead more.
Fantastic, good.